There we go. Our team is quite low level. But look at this. Smasher. That's I crit doing 75% of its health, and then Corrosive Strikes just chips away. The affliction damage just finishes it off. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite loadouts in Ventures. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing kind of a mini series on Ventures. This might turn into more episodes, but so far I've covered farming and Teddy. So instead of doing one video on a bunch of good Ventures loadouts, I'm doing individual videos focusing on one loadout, plus a lot of different tips so you guys can really learn the ins and outs. And for this season, we have the short range modifier, which is not too big of a deal for this loadout, and you'll see why, where basically you need to be close to the enemies. You, a defender, or a teammate needs to be close to the enemies, or else they'll take reduced damage. And I also wanted to talk about different quests. So when you're going through Ventures, you need to destroy statues, you need to eliminate certain zombies, queue certain missions, and this quest is very early on, which is perfect because this build can be used not only early on, but in any zone. So we need to get kills with melee weapons, and I love this Blakebeard stash build. I have also talked about this modifier and this exact loadout in my old Ventures loadouts video. I'll link this down below where I go over it. So this is not a new build, and I'll probably talk about it again in the future because this build can work in any zone. So last game, I queued this off camera just because I wanted to hang out with the stream, Twitch link down below. And last game, I was able to see that our clubs from this were like power level 67. And it does matter if your commander is supercharged, by the way. You don't need to run Luna in the lead, by the way. Corrosive Strikes, Deadly Blade Crash is great in the lead. You can use, I don't recommend Battlebeat in the lead, but you can if you want. It doesn't really matter, but Paleo Luna gives you 9% of your current health to melee damage, which is significant. Even without Blast from the Past, that's a lot. That is a lot of extra damage, and you're gonna have tons of health because Blakebeard Stash gives you cannonballs, peg legs, and coconuts. Coconuts heal you a lot. You've heard about me talk about them a lot, and you get all of this from Blakebeard the Black-Hearted. If you did not pick him up when I was yelling at everybody in every video I made to pick him up, then I'm sorry, but he's not available anymore. You can voucher him. I think he is worth a voucher because that team perk is insane. It's also a team perk that activates a hero quest. So a lot of people get Blakebeard, they don't know where the thing is. If you go to the quest log, there should be a hero quest over here, and you have to like get 5 treasure chests. It's in any mission. It's super easy to do, even accidentally, so it's not a big deal, but definitely something to look out for. Once you get those chests, you get Blakebeard Stash, and this is the loadout I'm running. So going coconuts, yes, I'm using Crossbones Barrett. For a long time, I didn't recommend using Barrett, but I don't always read descriptions. That's why I only learned what Eddie did a few months ago. The damage increase from coconuts comes from Barrett, so you will be getting coconuts from Blakebeard Stash anyway, but you can also get them from searching containers, which will not be necessary because of the treasure chest, but you'll also get that damage bonus, which is big. So I definitely recommend using Barrett just for that damage. Then we're using Blakebeard because 20% cannonball damage is great. That also affects lots of different launchers like the Jabberwocky and the Bowler. I've made videos on those, link down below. Those weapons are not necessarily available this season of Ventures to my knowledge, so not going to be a big deal, but the cannonballs will get buffed from that. And the only hero in the entire game to buff club damage directly happens to be a pirate. That was no accident. That club is essentially peg leg damage because the peg leg is classed as a club, and the peg leg does come with no perks technically, although I did do a video on the best perks. If you're curious, you can watch that. It's a minute and a half, but yeah, the perks do come basically with a crit build built in. It's got a 37% crit chance, so I figured Deadly Blade Crash would be a good pick. This is where the build can vary. The build is basically done with these top 4 heroes, and like I said, those peg legs scale to your power level almost in a broken way. You're using like power level 67 peg legs against power level 17 zombies. It's nuts. You can use them right away, and that will scale all the way to like a 144 peg leg. I might be wrong. It's a high number. It goes all the way to the end game, and that will always work. Not Cupid's arrow, but you can use lots of different ninjas. So Assassin Sarah buffing your melee damage. You can use Corrosive Strikes. I'm going to use Corrosive Strikes. You can use something to buff your Smoke Bomb. You can use Fleet just to run faster. Why not? There are a ton of options. It really doesn't matter, but I ran Corrosive Strikes and Battle Beat because you're going to be getting lots of kills, and the peg leg swing is fast enough to be useful, but not that fast. So Battle Beat activating every once in a while will be super nice. So yeah, let's hop into game. I'm going to queue just the same mission we ran before because we're not high enough power level. And this is more of a showcase video either way, but this is a really strong build, and you're about to see that in action. Okay, so this is the rocky beginning. Like I said, I queued this mission, or I queued this loadout last mission, and I got very lucky. So lucky that I was almost annoyed for having not been recording, because I got very lucky getting my treasure chest right away, and right now is typically how it goes instead. You need to get a treasure chest to get this whole loadout started, and drones are a good way to get that going. I'm still using my adrenaline rush. Probably should switch that to a resupply crate, but that's okay. You know, I did get to heal a teammate once last game, so it was super worth it. I am actually going to put on a different weapon just so I can get that first treasure chest. Once you get the first treasure chest, you're usually off to the races, but man, that 20%, or I'm sorry, that 1 in 20 chance is super brutal, and it doesn't always happen right away or even soon. It's very unfortunate, but I'm gonna keep trying and hope I get lucky.
3 hours later.
Oh my goodness. Aura is donating me his chests. I have killed at least 60 enemies so far, trying and failing to get all of the chests needed. I'm just stealing Aura's chests. It's been so ridiculous. Oh, of course. Then I start recording and I get one right away. Oh my gosh. So I wonder if there's a glitch. I wonder if there's a glitch involved in this, where if two people run the same loadout, one person gets favored. Maybe I'm just unlucky, because I have had really poor luck in the past, and it's been terrible. But either way, you can see just how strong this build is. I don't think there's that many enemies to kill around the map, so I'm probably gonna go do this quest item and then get the mission started. But either way, something up with the drop rate of those chests. All right, start the defense with minimal traps down, actually. Well, no traps down, but I really wanted to showcase just how strong this build could be. Look at the damage. Like, look at that damage, my guy. It's actually so... Oh, look at that. Of course, I start recording and start getting chests immediately. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This really just goes to show. Look at this crowd of zombies. Look at the power. You throw those cannonballs, everything just dies. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. This loadout is so fun. And it scales forever. You can use this for so long. Aura is using the same build, obviously, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Look at the 35 coconuts as well. So you guys know how difficult coconuts can be in regular missions, and from this loadout, you get more coconuts than you even know what to do with. You basically have infinite uptime. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, this is basically the loadout in a nutshell. And that damage scales. You can see why Blakebeard is so favored by me as well. That damage scales really well to a smasher or a mini boss. Obviously these fatties, getting them all grouped up. Can't even die because you got all the health vials on the ground, let alone the actual coconuts from the build. It's beautiful. Aura and I are basically the entire defense for this mission. Obviously, this is a low power level zone. You know, 17 level zombie. Let me show the... oh, my goodness. There we go. Our team is quite low level. But look at this. Smasher. It's I crit doing 75% of its health, and then corrosive strikes just chips away. The affliction damage just finishes it off. It's amazing. It's amazing. All these coconut or all these chests on the ground. Aura, I don't know if you're giving me all these chests, but it doesn't matter. We've got enough chests for both of us to be set for the rest of the mission. I will admit, by the way, actually, there are times when the drop rate for these chests is so low that you actually run out of peg legs. So it is actually important. You only get one peg leg per chest, so little bit of restocking is typically well advised. But you can just drop a smoke bomb so you're safe, and then the bees of course will stop me from picking it up. But look at this loot. Look, this is crazy. Obviously there are two people running Blakebeard stash. This is not representative of one person running this, but my goodness, it doesn't even matter. Even half of this loot is way more than you could need. I'm at 63 coconuts right now. Ah, my peg leg just broke. It doesn't even matter. Eating the coconuts is, again, good for health and damage, so I'm just keeping up this constant 16% damage bonus. Ugh, no crits on the smasher, but even still, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You can see the attack speed on the club was not that impressive on that smashers, which is, again, just why I really appreciate Blakebeard. Like I also said, there are a lot of really good answers for this build. You can use Fleet, Blakebeard, Assassin Sarah. It doesn't even matter. You best believe I'm going to pick up all these chests after this mission ends. 14 seconds, and then the next wave begins. This mini boss, I cannot wait. I've asked my teammates to give me the mini boss so I can solo it, or at least try to. If it's trap vulnerable, we'll call it a bust, but either way, I really want to see what this build can do against a single mini boss. I know it's good, but I really want to show you. So let's just loot up all these chests. We're at 54 cannonballs. 54 cannonballs is important because I enjoy throwing the cannonballs like as my main offense. It's super satisfying. That's all right, Or can have his. And it's tough to get as many as it takes to throw them infinitely, but you can see the clubs. Oh my gosh. You can also recycle these for planks, which I don't recommend. It's not like a good farm for planks, right? But it is still something you can do at the end of the mission. Yeah, we both have the same idea. It's also worth noting, the cannonballs explode and then explode again. Very similar to the Jabberwocky That is also a very nice feature, but they don't do environmental damage. I'm gonna get this tree out of the way. This is just our killing floor. This is the most perfect spawn area I could have ever imagined for this video. Like, this is awesome. I might even revisit this loadout later in the season. I think that'd be really fun because I want to record a nice swath of videos for the early game. So for those of you starting your journey, you guys can get some hot tips on some loadouts you can try out. Maybe if other stuff I've shown isn't as interesting, then maybe this can be something you can try. But I also want to revisit some of these loadouts in the end game just to see how they hold up, because this one will work forever. You could use this Paleo Luna build for a long time. Another variation of this build that I also want to show on the channel is basically the exact same thing, but with Dragon Slash. Dragon Slash has 3 very good abilities. So you're basically using Dragon Slash, Smoke Bomb, Throwing Stars on top of the peg legs, the cannonballs, the coconuts. It's awesome. You don't even need to use individual weapons. All right, what do we? Oh my god, this is what I'm talking about. The damage pulse killed me, but like you can see it. I think Aura was a little bit influential on that fight, but it doesn't even matter. Like that mini boss just got shredded. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Just absolute destruction. So yeah, this Blakebeard Stash build is very malleable. You can run it with Dragon Slash, you can run it with a different lead. It's gonna work pretty much no matter what you do. And wow. If this doesn't showcase it, then I'm not sure what will. So yeah, oh, can we just get a little bit of cannonball action here? So I also wanted to mention the quest line that I showed. Done. I had this started last game, but yeah, I didn't finish it because I was just kind of chilling. I was not killing as much as I probably could have. We also had a minigun, or Vinny was running a minigun loadout, and miniguns are crazy strong. You better believe I'm going to be making a video on that as well, because I've already made videos on miniguns, link to that down below, but I like to showcase it every time because it's so much damage that you can never get too much minigun. In certain modifiers, you can even use, what is it, Diecast Jones in the lead for that energy minigun, but this modifier doesn't really allow for that. You want the cooldown to be reduced, and that's just kind of a problem with diecast. However, minigun also got kind of a sneaky buff a long time ago. This is not news. I'm not presenting this as something you wouldn't know, but they the cooldown, or at least the cancellation, where you can, after 5 seconds, put the minigun back away, means you're not stuck holding the minigun all the time, which is super useful. That is very useful for moving on from a crowd of enemies, or maybe putting it away and building if the defense got broken into or something. I can't tell you how many times I've had my minigun out in the past, going after a mini boss, and the enemies broke through, but I can't help because I'm literally stuck with a minigun. Sometimes that even happens where you're focused with the minigun, just focusing on the mini boss. But here in a Blakebeard Stash build, I'm too focused on a different loadout because there's just a lot of fun options. The unfortunate thing with Ventures is all these ability loadouts are fun for a while, but you know, I want to use my weapons too. But that's why I get the 160s, I guess. Weapon schematics would be really, really, really nice in Ventures. Ventures does not have to, well, doesn't have to suck as much as it does, but at least in these early games, I can have a little bit of fun. Just straight cannonballs. Straight cannonballs. You can see that I haven't even picked up a chest in a while because the cannonballs alone have just I've had so many built up, and they're so fun. I don't think there's any quest line where cannonballs could be useful. I don't think you ever need ranged weapons, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need a quest line to tell you what you can and can't use. It's just amazing. Just free chests everywhere. It's awesome. And then you have to kind of lead your throws on occasion, which can be rather tricky, but it's not really that big of a deal. Do a little bit of bank shot action. Hopefully that hits something. But yeah. Blakebeard Stash. Thank you, Aura, for donating your chest. I'm very glad that I was able to get that ball rolling, because once you get this loadout fueled, it is so useful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helps you in your journey. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, take it easy. And then